We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby.
Yo, what's up, Chicago? And welcome back to episode 617, season 17 of Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Star, aka Ms. Hip Hop. And today it is 5:51 a.m. in the morning. Yes. You guys, today I will be discussing the 1998 film, What Dreams May Come. A visually stunning fantasy drama movie starring the late and great Robin Williams as Chris Nielsen, a man who dies in a car accident and journeys through a heaven shaped by his imagination, only to find his wife Annie, played by Annabella Scorta, has committed suicide and is trapped in hell. Guided by a spirit named Albert, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., Chris embarks on a quest to rescue her from an eternal damnation, a journey that takes him to the depths of hell. The film, directed by Vincent Ward, who won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects for its breathtaking depiction of the afterlife. For those who don't know, this film was based on the 1978 novel of the same name by Richard Matheson. The film was about a family that was struck with tragedy. Early in the film, Williams and his wife lose both their children in a car accident. And years later, 4 years to be exact, as they're struggling to move on, Williams himself is struck by a car and he dies instantly. As Williams' journey to the afterlife, he learns about the nature of heaven and ultimately discovers that his wife died by suicide due to grief of losing their family and is trapped in hell. Ignoring all the warnings that it's impossible for a suicide victim to let go of their pain and move on to heaven, Williams descends after his wife to pull her back. Now, you guys, I saw this film pop up on my YouTube and it was playing instantly at around 3 a.m. this morning. And I didn't stop the movie either, although I hadn't clicked on it because I just took it as a sign from the universe to watch it. And I was trying to find the meaning of it. You know what I mean? As I stated earlier, Robin Williams, played by Chris, he lost his wife due to suicide. Y'all, this film, it hit me pretty hard because Robin Williams is somebody I grew up watching, iconic actor, an iconic comedian, and I remember his roles in Good Will Hunting and in Mrs. Doubtfire. I love that movie so freaking much. And he just was a powerful character in this movie. And the reason why I say it was powerful is because he died by suicide too. And I know this movie took place in 1998, and this is the year 2026, where the veil has been lifted by many. The age of Aquarius, so much information out there that I don't believe that Williams would have believed that he too, if he took his own life, would go somewhere to a place called hell. Hell and heaven are biblical terms. And if you want to put it in a more spirituality kind of conversation, hell is built by the mind. Hell is where you never forgive yourself and you're constantly going over the past loops of trauma that was dealt to you. You know what I mean? That's hell. a cell inside your own brain. Heaven is what you depict reality to be. I am happy. I am uplifted. I am courageous. I am bold. I am living my truth. I am speaking my truth. That to me is a form of heaven. But in this movie, since his wife took his own life, she was unable to come to the afterlife with Williams and their 2 children and their dog. So he had to go searching for her, because in that realm of the afterlife, it was where people were just so, you got to watch the movie. It was so beautiful. They were floating in the air, laughing and chuckling like children. Everybody was young again. It was just so beautiful how he depicted that afterlife. And I felt that, but I didn't feel like that was necessarily what we call heaven. You know what I mean? I didn't feel the part where the spirit guide, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., was saying that, oh no, you could never see your wife again because she took her own life, and there they go to a different place. Like, no, somebody that commits this is just my idea of it. Somebody that commits suicide is not bound to come back to this earth and do it again. You do have a choice. And since the veil has been lifted, I am okay to put my 2 cents in. When your body goes through the transition of death, you disattach from the shell of the body and your energy again, and you go back to the one source. But before you go back to the one source, there is a bright light that draws you in. And they will put people there that you remembered that was once alive, like your grandmother or your grandfather or your cousin or your brother. It could be anybody, to make you say, I want to step back into this light. Only problem is, it's an illusion. Yes, the light is artificial. The light is a trap for you to be reincarnated back into this earth again. Although we all had contracts before we were born to come to this earth, what race we wanted to be, what family members we wanted to have, and what type of life and struggles we would deal with. And we chose all of that. And it's not hard to believe, because in this 1998 film, the spirit guide, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., was a doctor that Williams was under, because he was a doctor too, a children's doctor, and he taught him everything that he knew. So he was kind of like a father figure to him, you know what I mean? Because in the film, he didn't really know his father. So the doc, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., was his spirit guide. But along the way, as he was journaling into the afterlife to find his wife and his kids, he found out that the spirit guide was actually one of his children. And he knew that through conversation throughout the movie, because the last days that he saw his children alive, it was like a motion picture in his mind. Everything was happening in slow motion. The hugs, the goodbyes, the anticipation of I'll see you after school, or I'll see you tomorrow. They were all scenes of a movie in his mind. And so it brought back immense conversations that he had with his children. Like, for one, when he found out that one of his children was the spirit guide, he was having a conversation like, oh, Dad, I want to play chess. I want to learn how to play chess. And he said, okay, let's do it. He said, but I want to keep playing until I win. And they played for 3 months straight. And after the 3rd month, that's when his child died. And somewhere throughout that piece of a conversation, not so much as what was necessarily said to him, said to his child, but how he made his child feel. And the memory came back up again with their conversation. And that's how he remembered it was him. His second child, I'm telling the whole story here because y'all need to go see this film, period. Okay. But no, I'm not even going to tell you the second story of how he saw his second child, but they all came back in forms of different people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said you get to choose who you are before you come to this earth, before you even enter the womb. That artificial light is for you to go back into a womb and be reborn again. You know, but you don't take those memories back that you made a contract with yourself, that you chose this type of lifestyle. You don't have a memory of that. Your job here on earth is to recall who you are before you got here, you know, to find some immense type of love with another individual. And it's not always love with another person that you can move the cosmos, okay? But it could be love for a passion that you have in life. It's to be happy. That's what the real reason to be here. One of the real reasons to be here is to find your own happiness, to find out who you are and to live and walk in your truth. I hope I'm not talking too much, but this film was so beautiful. Like you should see at the end, if he was able to reunite his family back again and how he was able to do it with endurance and consistency. And most of all, discipline and knowing who he was. I'm gonna wrap this up because I feel like I'm rambling here a little bit, but like I said this morning, I just watched this film, and even in 2026, it just left me completely transformed. Robin Williams, like I said, an icon growing up watching him. You feel me? You know, this story is about love so profound that it defies death itself. After losing his wife to suicide, y'all, and later his own life in a tragic accident, the character Williams, his journey through a beautiful imagined afterlife, it all started in your mind. It's like this manifestation. You know, when you think of something, it just happens. And I know it's so simple just to say it like that, but here on earth, we are in school. It's almost like a prison planet. You know, they don't want you to remember that if you could just think of something instantly, it'll come to fruition. And you know it's real because, you know, you ever thought about somebody and they just showed up or they just called you on the phone? That's a part of your manifestation. Those aren't coincidence. You know, they're not, you know. And there's this film. It's not like where hell is a place, but it's a prison of unforgiveness, and heaven is something you create with your own life. This film was more than just a fantasy. It's a spiritual journey. It asks us to confront loss and to forgive ourselves and to understand that love transcends the boundaries of life and death in a time when we all search for meaning. And I urge you to watch What Dreams May Come, like Ghost. It's a hidden gem of the 90s, and it deserves a fresh conversation here in 2026. So don't let it be forgotten. Let it remind you of the power of love and beyond the veil of who you are. Thank you so much, Chicago, for listening to me rant at like 6 a.m. in the morning, honey. I appreciate y'all straight up. Make sure you check out the film, What Dreams May Come. I love you so much, and you know, have a beautiful rest of your life, because life is very, very short. We won't be here for long. You know, 80 something years ain't long, y'all. It's just not. Decades go by in minutes. Look at the time. It's flashing before our eyes. We're almost done with 2026 in a sense, because it's been 6 months. We have 6 more months of 2026 before it's 2027. Let me stop rambling. Y'all, go watch What Dreams May Come. Peace.